89. All right, so we're going to get into it. Today's topic that we're talking about is self-reliant. Self-reliant. Again, it's not a topic that I spoke about before, so this is going to be fun. You know, I always love to talk about. Welcome for Queen. Grand Rising, great rising to you. Peace, love, and light. Always and forever love. We talk about self-reliant. Ooh, man, if we come to a place to be self-reliant, and that doesn't mean in all things, but just being more self-reliant, because we have been taught in this world, in this age, that, you know, we're not good enough. That part. We have been taught in this world, in this age, that we may not be enough. That part. And the more and more we listen to these lies, the more and more we pull back, and we're not self-reliant anymore. Or we found a way to not depend on the abilities that we have on the inside, because we start depending on people because of the lies that have been told to us, and even so much so through our experiences. We experience some things where we feel like we failed. We experience some things that we didn't feel like we're good enough. So when we come to across other things, we don't have that self-reliance to say, okay, we can do this. To say, you know, I got through that. I was a survivor, and I know I could survive this. We don't compare things, because we become less and less self-reliant the more that we experience life. Ooh. Come on, king and queens. The more and more we experience life is the more and more we come to a place to not feel self-reliant if we're not living in a place of self-love. And the more that we live life without living in self-love is the more and more we drift away from being self-reliant. It's the more and more we don't feel like we're good enough. We don't feel the value that we have on the inside. The worth that we are, we don't understand. When we talk about self-reliant, to rely is to be able to do things and make decisions by yourself. Do you see that? Man, no, thank you, love. Thank you for sharing the live. Without needing others. If I'm able to do things and make decisions by myself without needing others, it means I can recognize my strength. It means I recognize my abilities on the inside. And when we talk about confidence, confidence directly deals with the appreciation of the abilities that we have on the inside. That's what confidence is. Coming to a place to have an appreciation of the abilities that we have on the inside. Oh, thank you. Yes. Zay, thank you for sharing the live. Diamond, Henry. So to rely on something is the ability to be able to do things and make decisions by yourself when we talk about self-reliant without needing others. Confidence is the feeling of self-assurance. So I feel self-assured. The feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation, of one's own abilities. So confidence is I come to a place to feel self-assurance. I'm so sure of who I am. You know, I've been through some hard things. I don't look like what I've been through, but what I'm telling you is I don't label myself by my experience. I have this self-assurance to understand who I am. And because I know who I am, I get this feeling that arises on the inside of my appreciation for what I have, my abilities, what I carry, what I can do. And that's where confidence comes from. And that confidence comes from that feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of your abilities. I appreciate what I have on the inside. I recognize the strength that I needed to walk through. I recognize it to carry myself, and I see who I am, and I don't just see my flaws. I'm not just looking under a magnifying glass, but I see myself as a whole. I see the flaws, and I see how I learned from them. Come on now. I see what I've done and where I messed up, and now where I'm going. Come on, I see all that I've tried to get to, but then as I'm trying, I messed up, but then I got through, and I see the strength. When we talk about self-reliance, is that I'm recognizing those abilities on the inside. I'm coming to a place to have some type of appreciation of who I am. I'm not just talking about, when we talk about self-reliant, people will begin to think, okay, well, what are you saying? That I got to depend on myself? That I have to come to a place where I don't need people? No, we need people who offer love and compassion and insight to us, right? We need people, but we have to come to a place to understand that it's equally important for us to be able to draw our own strength. We have to be able to draw on our own strength because people are not always going to be there. We will find ourselves in this life somewhere along the lines that I feel like I'm alone. And it doesn't mean that the people that we love and love us unconditionally aren't there for us. It just may not work out that way. They may be on vacation. They may be somewhere else. They may be dealing with their own things, and they can't see to us that we come to a place that we feel like we're all alone. We do need people to offer up these certain things in our life, but it's equally as important to be able to draw on our own strength. When we come to a place to know that we are complete all by ourselves. How can I get that strength, Candy? How can I come to a place to see all that I am? But we come to a place to change our perspective. Change our perception of who we are. It's equally as important to draw on our own strength. We have to change the perception. We have to change how we view ourselves. Do you feel, I want to ask you something, King and Queens. Do you come to a place to, I want you to be able to, I want you to put a 1 in the comments if you are, if you feel you're not complete. I want you to put a 1 in the comments if you feel that you're broken. I want you to put a 1 in the comments if you feel like this. I don't feel like I'm there. I'm telling you, but when we don't view ourselves as complete, it's hard for us to recognize our own strength. Being complete doesn't make you perfect. Being complete doesn't mean that we're perfect. That's what I'm talking to you about, King and Queens. Being complete, we are made complete and whole as we are. Complete and whole as we are. And when I understand that I'm complete, I can't walk around being upset that I am broken. I won't be upset by putting on glasses because somebody stepped on my glasses. Now when I view myself, this is what happens in our relationships. In our relationships, we come to a place where we allow them to take our glasses and we allow them, you're not good enough, and they step on them, and then you'll never amount to get the love that you deserve, and they step on them again, and you wasn't treated right as a child, so this is the life that you deserve, and they step on them again, and then when we take our glasses and we put them back on, all we see is broken. Or for others' opinions and the experiences that we dealt with, all we see is broken. But my glasses aren't me. I must be myself in order to see through the glasses. Come on, Dame. I must be who I am. I must be who I am. When I take my glasses off, I'm still Annie Marie. When I don't have the makeup on, when I don't have the jewelry on, when I'm standing before myself in the mirror naked, I am still who I am. You are completely whole. The problem is our perception is wrong. If the mirror breaks, we can see cracks in the mirror and we can see something broken. But when we touch our face and feel who we are, we recognize I don't have cracks. I'm not broken. I don't feel that. We don't have to, in order for us to be complete, we do not have to be perfect. My skin isn't flawless, but I still wear the glasses. My hair isn't exactly how I want it to, but I still style it. There's things that happen to me that I still do because I'm still whole. When we come to a place to know that we are complete all by ourselves, then we come to a place of self-reliance. Come on, Unique. I've been created in his image, and if you tell me that the Most High is not perfect all by himself, then if he made me in his image, that means my image is perfect. That doesn't mean what I do is perfect, but it means that in my image is perfect. How I was created is perfect. I'm supposed to make mistakes so I grow, so I can become greater. That is some perfection in that equation. So I don't got it all together, but what I do is with him I am. Oh, I can be self-reliant because I see myself as complete. The more and more I'm in situations and dealing with relationships and in an environment that says I'm not whole, is the more and more I don't believe in my abilities. I don't have self-assurance on the inside that helps me get appreciation for what I carry. Before I start dealing with the people that are connected to us, I'm going to go to the harder part and deal with self. How do we get to a place that we can't be self-reliant? How do I get to a place to not see myself as complete, Candy? How does that happen? I don't even read. The way it happens is we come to a place to not believe in who we are. We identify with our experiences before us identifying with who we are. How we were made. The essence of us. I have to come to the place of recognize who I am as our experiences take us over and over and say we're not good enough. And that's the more and more and more we begin to rely on other people. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about something my loves. Thank you, love. I'm going to talk about something my loves. And what I'm going to say is, thank you, Candace. What I'm going to say is we got to start dealing with self first. Legendary, welcome back, love. Dave, I'm telling you, we got to start dealing. Grand rising to you, beloved. Clan, welcome forward, King. I'm going to get a little bit deeper. I'm going to deal with self first before we deal with relationships that don't allow us to be self-reliant. Because if you love me, then you will allow me to rely on my own strength and not on you. I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but a lot of us are in relationships that they want the dependency. Ooh, you got to be careful when you deal with people that want the dependency. They don't want you to be able to make it on your own. Who am I talking to, king and queens? We got to be careful of those snakes that are in the garden, that they live to make us be stunned. They live that we don't grow. Their purpose is that we don't get better. I created an atmosphere, come on now, and a relationship with you that you cannot elevate. Then if you come to a place that you can't elevate, you are constantly depending on me. Be careful of the people that want you to depend on them all the time, where it doesn't allow you to grow. They don't want you to come on, be loved. Come on, Dame. They don't want you to come to be a place to be self-reliant because they don't want you to, what did I say earlier? They don't want you to draw on your own strength. Because when we begin to draw on our own strength, it pulls us. Come on, 50-50. Come on, legendary. Come on, be loved. When we draw on our own strength, it starts to bring some truth about things. We start seeing things in a different eye. We start looking around and questioning things. We reevaluate some things. We start seeing if is this something that I deserve. When we start getting our own strength, then we're in a place that we can be able to see better. Open our eyes, take the blinders off, walk into what we deserve. So it's equally important to be able to draw on your own strength. And if I'm connected to people that don't want me to build myself up, that don't want me to be stronger, then they are dealing with them, then there's a problem. The people that live for us to have the dependency. When we talk about self-reliant and we're dealing with people, that's what it is. But let's get it deeper. Let's talk about self. In order for us to have self-reliant and be self-reliant and us build there, we have to come to a place to take responsibility. We have to come to a place to take responsibility. And I know this is a little bit harder than pointing fingers at the people that we allow in our life to cause damage, to cause destruction. We can point fingers, but we got to take responsibility in what we have allowed. Come on, beloved. We got to take responsibility in what we have welcomed in our life. We got to take responsibility for accepting less than we deserve. We have to take responsibility. We got to take responsibility of our own choices, and we have to take our responsibility to ensure that we must be responsible. You see, we got to be responsible for those choices. We got to take accountability also for what we have made the decisions of. When you come to a place to take responsibility, it is incredibly empowering. It says that, you know what? I did mess up. You know, I am responsible for inviting these people that are less than I deserve in my life. I am responsible for saying it's okay for you to be connected to me, and it has nothing to do with my divinity. I have to take responsibility for all that I have allowed. I know it hurts a little bit more. It's easier to say you abused me, you physically hurt me, you mentally hurt me, you spiritually hurt me, you emotionally hurt me. But what is worse is that I allowed you to. Come on, king and queens. And that's what I'm talking about. We take responsibility because we have allowed these things. And when we come to a place to say, you know what? I know you put your hands on me and I do not deserve it, but I'm going to see myself first. And I should have never allowed you to do it the first time. But now that I'm taking some responsibility about what has happened, I am not going to let you do it anymore. And I will not allow myself to accept anything less than I deserve anymore. That is do you hear how I said that? When I tell you, when we take responsibility, it is incredibly empowering. I'm telling you, you see how empowering that is? I'm standing and I'm being assertive because I understand who I am. Yeah, but you allowed me to do it yesterday. Well, now I recognize who I am today, and that's what makes me change my mind now. And if you want to say it's a new day, honey, it's a new day, and I am new today. Come on, king and queens. I'm taking responsibility, which allows me to be more self-reliant because I'm building the strength on the inside to say that, you know what, you're good enough. I'm going to take responsibility for my mistakes because I know in every mistake that I make, I grow as long as I learn from it. And as long as I'm learning from my mistakes, I'll take some responsibility for what I have caused, good, bad, and ugly. It doesn't matter what it is. I'll take responsibility because on the inside, it comes to a place to bring some empowerment. So it's incredibly empowering when we deal with taking responsibility. It says, you know what, I messed up, but I know my ability on the inside. I know I messed up and I know I allowed some things, but I'm so strong to see what I was doing, and I'm gonna understand that I take it, but we gotta get a little bit further. When we take responsibility, we gotta come to a place to be able to forgive ourselves. It's not just about taking responsibility, honey. When we take responsibility, my king and queens, we got to come to a place to forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves for the wrong choices. Forgive ourselves for hurting ourselves. The more and more we allow people to hurt us is the more and more we hurt ourselves. Oh, come on, Zay. There comes to a problem, king and queens, when we come to a place that we forgive people more than we forgive ourselves. I'm talking to somebody, and somebody is hurting out there, king. Somebody is hurting out there, queen. That you can forgive everyone that you know. They could do the low, dirtiest, low down things in human existence to you, and you forgive them before you would forgive yourself. Come on, Candace. We're going to be a little bit transparent so we can heal some things this morning. We're going to be a little bit transparent so we could get to where we deserve, so we can walk in our purpose and our destiny. We're going to do that this morning. We're going to take a little bit of truth that directs change and directs us into our divinity. That's what we're going to do this morning. Yes, you see that confirmation? Come on, hamster wheels. I love her. She allows me to call her hamster wheels because I love her emojis. CEO, come on. There's something wrong. Come on, Cahill. There's something wrong when we come to a place that people can do the lowest, dirtiest, scheming, sneaky, conniving, evil things to us, and we're so quick to forgive them. But when it comes to ourselves, we don't want forgiveness. When it comes to ourselves, we stay guilty. When it comes to ourselves, we constantly punish ourselves. How is that possible? Come on, Candace. How is that possible, Candy? How is that possible, Anna Marie? How do we come to a place to be able to love, forgive people more than we forgive ourselves because we love them more than we love self? Do you see that, king and queens? We love them more than we love self. The hard fact and the deep fact about it is that we love people more than we love us. That you could do the lowest thing to me, but I love you so much, I forgive you. So how much do you really love yourself? If they could do the worst of the worst to you and you could forgive them, then honey, how much do you really love yourself? That's what I'm talking about. To not forgive self causes you to make bad decisions. It causes you to live a life less than you deserve. Come on, preacher. It causes you to take you to a place where you're not supposed to be, where you're not supposed to live. So when we take responsibility, my loves, we got to come to a place to love ourselves enough to forgive us of the decisions that we made. We deal with highly humble, hey love. We deal with these toxic relationships, and the people that were in the toxic relationship, they get a pass before we do, and we're living our life because we decided to be in a toxic relationship because we allowed it to happen, and we're punishing ourselves for the very thing that we forgive them for. I forgive myself, and I'm sorry that I allowed it. I'm free because we go to a place, CEO, that I forgive myself for the decisions I made. I forgive myself for taking less than I deserve. I'm gonna do better because I love me. And then we come to a place to move forward. Why? Because the chains are off of me now. I can move forward because I'm free. It starts with self. Come on now. Awaken of the spirit and authentic love will get you to a place to be able to forgive yourself. Put your head. Man, king and queens, you better put your head up. You better lift your head up and look towards the hills for which cometh your help. And you better stand strong because you walked through and you got through the very thing that was purposed to kill you. And you came out with some strength and you're still living and breathing and you are alive and you are a survivor. You better lift your head and look towards the hills and walk forward. And I know I made some mistakes, but I'm strong. I know that I didn't make the right decisions, but I made a way out. He has come through for me because he loved me more than I love myself. And this is why I'm standing and breathing and living today. So I didn't lose the fight. I didn't lose the battle, but I'm walking in victory. So I love myself and I forgive me because my Father forgives me first. I don't know, king and queens. Woo! Do you hear me? I forgive me because my Father forgives me first. If unconditional love can forgive me, then come on, Lauren, then sure enough I can forgive myself. And if the Most High, the creator of the heavens, the earth, and the moon, the stars, species, plants, life, every being, every piece of energy, the creator of energy itself can forgive me, then why can't I come to a place to be able to forgive myself? Come on now, king and queens. A lot of times we don't take responsibility because it feels better to let other ones take the risk. What do you mean by that? What are you talking about? It's easier for us to not take responsibility because if I allow you to make some decisions for me, then I could blame it on you. Whoa, we're too scared to take the risk. We don't want to take the responsibility. We don't want to make the decision. We don't want to be self-reliant. That's why we like to have people around. That's why we don't like to be self-reliant, because then I got somebody to point the finger at. But when we understand that in all that I do, I'm connected. I have that self-love on the inside. I know my value. I know my worth. I have the relationship with the Most High. Then I come to a place to understand that I can rely on self because He lives in me. So to be in a place of self-reliant, I rely on me because the one that lives in me cannot fail. When if I have a strong relationship with Him and I'm connected to Him, I can't fail. So I need to come to a place to be self-reliant so I can draw on my own strength. And the joy of the Lord is my strength. So as long as He is happy, I am strong. And as long as He is happy, I can pull on the inside and rely on myself and the things that I go through. Come on, elevated. When we come to a place to be self-reliant, then we come to a place we got to take care of our body. We cannot be self-reliant without considering our physical form, without considering our body, the shell that houses the soul, that houses the energy. We have to be able to have physically care is just as important as mental. We have to have that physical care. We have to be strong enough to get through what we're going through. Remember, if our body doesn't feel good, our energy gets low. So that is a big part of how we go and approach situations, how we go through issues, how we deal with trials and tribulations. It deals with us physically also. If I'm always tired, I'm always weak, if I'm always in pain because of what I eat, because I'm not eating the right things, because I'm not dealing what my body was intended to deal with, then we come to that place. I know this is a hard part to deal with because a lot of times we deal with this mental thing, but once we fix the mental, then we have to come to a place to fix the body. How can we house the physical energy that we're trying to protect if it's not protected by its shell? Come on now. Yes, Native. Hi, Bray. Hey, Phoenix. I love you. It's real. I could have the best mental health all I want, but if I'm overweight, if I'm dealing with sickness, I'm dealing with cancer, I'm dealing with COVID, I'm dealing with any of these things, lupus, eczema, whatever it is, then my energy begins to get drained. If I'm not physically well, then I cannot house the right energy. I'm losing energy that needs to be directed to my divinity. And the healthier that we are physically is the best that we can be. Come on, we need to work out. We need to exercise. We need to eat right. We cannot house our beautiful and precious energy physically if we are not properly taking care of ourselves healthy. If we are not healthy ourselves. Hey, Henry. Hey, Happy. She go. Hey, love. So remember, one thing to be self-reliant is we have to come to a place to take responsibility. The second thing is we have to deal with our physical body as a whole. And the next thing, my king and queens, that I'm going to talk about, and the last thing I'm going to talk about tonight, come on, preacher, is that we have to recognize and accept our feelings. How can I be self-reliant? How can I be more self-reliant, Annie Marie? How can I get there? How can it work for me? You have to come to a place to recognize and accept your feelings. I can't be self-reliant if I don't believe in what I'm relying on. If I don't trust me. If I don't see my own abilities. If I don't believe in who I am. If I don't see my value and see my worth, king and queens. You are so much more than you think. But Candy, I have this great self-love. I know who I am. I know I'm extraordinary. You still don't see how great you are. Because you're even greater than that. Oh, I'm here to tell you, king and queens, that you're even greater than that. The greatest that you have experienced has not even scratched the surface on all that you are supposed to walk in and complete in your life. It hasn't even scratched the surface to say that man has not seen, man has not heard the things and the great plans that have been planned for you, for the ones that love him. That means he has planned and prepared. That means it doesn't say, my king and queens, I got to encourage somebody this morning. I got to encourage somebody this afternoon. I got to encourage somebody this Saturday. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. It doesn't say that he made these plans for the perfect. It doesn't say that these plans will expire. That's for someone that believes that they missed their chance. That's for someone that believes that they can't get to their goal. That's for someone that believes that they messed up too bad that there's no way out. There's no better. There's no greater. There's no way I could get it. Hey, welcome forward, Satan. Hey, love. Dirk. Come on, Sunflower. Thank you, love. Yay, the hearts. I love you guys. Come on, Sunflower. Yes, Wildfire. Yes, love. Truth. Hey, love. I speak 4-star. Dirk, I love you. Brigga. I'm in the right place now. Come on, Sunkiss. That Dutch. Hey, love. has not expired for you. The plans that he has planned so you and your destiny and where you're supposed to go, there is no expiration. He is ready, are you? He is still ready, are you? He is still ready, king and queens, are you? Are you ready to step into all that has been called for your life? Are you ready to recognize how great and extraordinary you are? Are you ready? Let's talk about it. We got to recognize and accept our feelings. We even have to accept the difficult feelings. How do we become more self-reliant? We have to accept even the difficult feelings, even the negative emotions. Oh, Gabriel, hey Joseph. Yes, Candace. Stella, hey love. I'm telling you, we got to accept it. Jay, welcome love. When we accept the difficult emotion, it says that I understand I'm capable. It says I understand that I survived some things. When we come to a place of self-reliance, we recognize all that we have survived. We come to a place to recognize all we have survived. We come to a place to be able to see what we have accomplished. We come to be able to recognize our strength. If I did it before, then I could do it again. If I did it before and he strengthened me on the inside and I still have a relationship with him, then what more can he do? He will do greater than he had did before, and he is with me, then it's gonna happen for me. That's when we come self-reliant, because when we really truly step into self-love, it starts talking about, come on Sunflower, come on Mia Monroe, it starts talking about in me on the inside, in the inward parts lies the Most High, and I carry him with me. So the more and more I deal with things, the stronger that I could get, and the more I rely on him, because I got through already. I came through before. By his grace and his mercy, I have made it through. I have survived. The battle is not mine, but it's his, and he has won over and over again, and I have had the victory. It's not about what it looks like on the outside. Do you hear me? It's about the winning. How did you learn from it? Can you live better now? Are you a better person? Are you walking in greater because all that you have experienced? So I can't push away and repress my feelings, because the more I repress my feelings is the more I'm repressing self. Listen to me. The more I push away my feelings, the more I'm pushing away my authentic self, who I am. So we can't push away who we are, because the more and more we push away, we don't feel like we're enough. So we won't rely on self. Then the more and more we depend on people, and we push away our feelings and then rely on others. We push away our feelings and repress our feelings so we can begin to rely on others and use others' feelings. No longer do we have a voice, but we let other people be our voice for us. We don't have a voice. We shut our mouths. We shut out who we are, and we allow other people to fill in that void. Oh, and we wonder why. Come on, CEO. And we wonder why when we break up these relationships that we don't have anyone to rely on anymore. We feel like we're lost. We break up these relationships and we don't know who we are. We go through these relationship breakups and we break off with family members, we break off with friends, we break off with our spouses, with our partners, and we wonder why we're so empty, because we have nothing to rely on anymore. Come on, Sunflower. Oh. I repress my feelings and who I am. I push away my authentic self, and I'm not allowed to speak, so someone else becomes my voice. I don't believe my authentic self is good enough. I've been through a lot of things, and all that I have experienced has shown me that I'm not worth it, and I'm not worthy, and I'm not valuable, and I've come to a place to repress all of my feelings. I come to a place to push away everything that I am and everything that creates of who I am and my authenticity, and I don't use it anymore. So I silence myself, and someone else becomes my voice. And then when that voice leaves me, I feel empty. I don't remember who I am. Sticks! Hey, King! I hope you're feeling wonderful and amazing. Charlie's Angel, Sly, hey, love. Come on. Let's say disconnect from toxic. Yes, come on, Lauren. That's deep. Come on, Sunflower. And when they leave, I no longer have a voice. I don't have my voice, let alone their voice, and I have nothing to say. I don't know who I am, let alone that I cannot articulate who I am anymore. There's no one around me that someone else can articulate it for me. And we find our place that we're lonely and empty and we don't know our identity anymore and we start falling into depression because we don't really know who we are, because we have allowed people to rewrite our identity instead of who has created us of who we are. Instead of the Creator, the Most High, the one that has created us in His image. Little one here needed this today. You're welcome, love. I appreciate you, gorgeous. Chocolate J, hey, love. Come on now. Jen, hey, love. I love you. Oh, I appreciate you, Jen. So we have to come to a place to be able to recognize and accept your feelings. And when we do that, the people that love us, thank you, Elevated! The people that love us will come to a place to be able to, yay! I'm so close to my goal 4 stars. You guys are awesome. I love you so much. Thank you, Laura, for sharing the live. Scorpion, hey, love. That will come to a place that we will find our voice. And we'll rely on our feelings to make our decisions. And if we make our decisions, we'll take responsibility on how it comes out. And as we're relying on ourselves, not just mentally and emotionally and spiritually, but we'll be able to rely on self physically. That's all that ties into being self-reliant. Self-reliant allows us to draw on our own strength on the inside. Self-reliance brings us to a place to understand that we are complete and whole all by ourselves. Why? Because He lives in me. Why? Because I have a relationship with Him and He's constantly showing me that I'm all I need. Oh, and I want to end with this, my king and queens, that come to a place to stop comparing yourself to others. Stop comparing yourself to others, because how can I compare myself to something that can never be the same? We could never be the same thing. Why? Because you have been made extraordinary. You have been made extraordinary, so much so, it's scientifically proven how extraordinary you are. I ain't never been in a lab, Candy. What you talking about? What's scientifically proven what? Ain't nobody ever did no tests on me. Come on, Sunflower. Ain't nobody ever did anything. What you mean scientifically proven that I'm extraordinary? It is scientifically proven that you are extraordinary. That doesn't mean you're just anyone. It says that you're scientifically proven that you're extraordinary because you are one in all the world. There is no one that is like you. Why would you compare apples to oranges when it's just not the same? Stop comparing yourself, king, to another king. Stop comparing yourself, queen, to another queen. You are extraordinary, and you are one in all by yourself. One in all the world. You are you. No one can be you. They can try to act like you. They can try to talk like you. They can try to dress like you. But honey, at the end of the day, they cannot be you. So stop wasting all your energy on trying to be something that you could never be. And that's anyone besides yourself. Ooh. And that's anyone beside yourself, my loves. You are great and complete and whole all by yourself. And I love you, love you, love you. And stop comparing. There's nothing to compare, love. You can compare every king. You can compare every queen. You can compare every being on this earth, and they would never amount to the greatness that you are. What do you mean? But they're the president of the United States. What do you mean, Candy? But they rule over nations. What do you mean, Candy? They got $5 million in the bank account, Candy. What do you mean that I can't compare? I'm greater than them. You are greater than them, because no one could ever be you. They could have $1 million, honey, but they can't be you. They could be the president of the United States, but they cannot be you. Recognize you're extraordinary, my king and queens. Come on, 8973. Come on, preacher. Don't look down on yourself. Lift your head and walk in power, peace, and love. Come on, all praises to the Most High. That's what I'm talking about. So stop comparing stop comparing yourself to others, because it just will never work. And that's something to be excited about. Dre, I love you. And that's something to be excited about. Tears won't stop. You better let them heal. 0940. You better let those tears flow so you can heal and keep continuing to be greater than you are today, my love. Stop comparing yourself, because it don't matter what they got. It don't matter whether they can't be you. Or they got long hair, they can't be you. They got money in their bank account, they can't be you. Well, they have degrees, they can't be you. They're the president, they can't be you. They have walked on the moon, but honey, they can't be you. That's how I'm self-reliant. That's why I reach on the strength that I have on the inside, because I know I'm one in all the world, and I know how great I am. And my greatness is not contingent on me doing everything right. My greatness isn't contingent on me being perfect. That's why I love him so much. He didn't make it so hard for me. All he said is, try your very best with a good heart, keep my commandments, and love me, and I will align the stars for you. He didn't make it so hard for me. He didn't make it like the people in this world that we deal with day in and day out that want us to be perfect and want us to have it all together. He didn't make it for us to fight a battle that we could never win. But he made it a little bit easier for us. He loved us when we didn't love ourselves. He sees us perfect in all of our mistakes. He sees the depths of our heart, and he still loves us the same. I can't say that anyone on this earth can see any of all the horrible things that I've done in my lifetime and say they still love me the same. I can be self-reliant because he lives in me. Because I know that man will fail me, but he is not man that he shall lie. He will not. He won't fail me, king and queens. So I rely and believe in him. I'm self-reliant because I know who my Father is. Believe in your abilities. Remember that you're perfectly imperfect. Every time you make a mistake, every time somebody says that you're not good enough, I want you to remember that you are perfectly imperfect. I wasn't created to be perfect. I wasn't created not to make mistakes. I'm sorry. And if that's what you believe I'm supposed to be, we're fighting a battle that I'll never win. I can't be in a relationship with you. I can't be connected to you because what you're living is a lie. I don't know, king and queens. That's for someone. Someone's dealing with that right now. That's for you. I'm not living this life in a battle that I'll never win. I wasn't called to be perfect. And if the creator of the heavens and the earth is the one who decided that I should make mistakes, then mistakes are okay as long as I learn from them. Because you can never come to a place to rely on yourself if you can't see your own strength. If you can't see who he is. Because our strength is him. Remember that, my loves. And be self-reliant, because it speaks of your worth.